We're going to do an introduction to logs. So we need to think, what is the purpose of logs? And really it's that we can write a very large number in a short way, similar to, let's say, scientific notation, or we can find the missing power. Now, what I mean by that is, if you have 3 to the power of x is equal to 9, well, I don't need anything to figure out the solution to that. I could write it as 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 2, therefore x is 2. But I would need something if they asked me 3 to the power of what is equal to 8. Again, I wouldn't know off the top of my head how to do that. So we come up with something called logs. And that means that logs and indices are related. And if I want to be able to write things in log format, I need to go to my log tables. And it's the same page as the indices rules. Page 21 of your log tables, we have all these rules to do with indices and all these ones to do with logs. But how do I go in and out of log format? Well, it actually tells me. So I have, at the very top of my page, it explains clearly that if I have a to the power of x is equal to y, that's the same as log of y in the base a is equal to x. So this is what is written at the top of my log tables. It helps me to go in and out of log format. So here I have 3 to the power of something is equal to 8. So comparing here, instead of the a over here, I'm going to put in the 3. It's my base number. Instead of the y, I'm going to put in the 8, and I'll get out the missing power, which is the whole point of it. It's the whole point of logs. So log of 8 in the base 3, and you can just put that into your calculator. So we have a few buttons to do with logs. Log of 8 in the base 3, press equals, and we have our solution 1.8927, and I do not round off unless they tell me to. What I could do is that if I didn't want to keep, if I want to use this number further, I could store it in my calculator. How do I store something in my calculator? Well, I press Shift, and then I'm looking for the STO above this button or CL here, and I'm going to store it as A. So now my answer is stored in A, and if I want to get that back up, so if I press AC and want that number again, I can just press alpha, and to get the A up, press equals, and there's my number. So if I have a missing power at any stage, I can use logs, which means that even if it's at the end of a question and I notice that I have a missing power, well, the whole point of logs is to be able to find your missing power. So if we have something like this, now I need to be able to use my rules of indices in order to work out this question, and I need to recognize that I'm going to try and write this as a trinomial. That you might need revision of your indices in order to look at this question, but I just want to show you that at the end I could end up using logs, whether it's in the middle of a question or here it'll be at the end of it. So I can rewrite this as 2 to the power of x to be squared minus 8 times 2 to the power of x plus 15 is equal to 0. That means that I'm going to let 2 to the power of x equal to y. So I now have y squared minus 8 times y plus 15 equals 0. And I'm just going to, whatever way you want to, find your factors. I'd end up at y is equal to 5, y is equal to 3. But I'm the one who put in the y, so it's 2 to the power of x is equal to 5, and 2 to the power of x is equal to 3. And here is a situation where at the end of a question, I'm going to have to use logs in order to work this out. So I can go to my log tables and carefully put this into log format. Log of 5 in the base 2, get my answer. Log of 3 in the base 2, get my answer. Okay, that's where I would need logs perhaps at the end of a question. But I'm going to reiterate it again. It's any time I have a missing power. Okay, so here, if I had this question, I could use log format and go log of 10 in the base 2 is going to give me the x plus 1. Go to my calculator. Log of 10 in the base 2. I'd end up with 3.32, and I can write all that down. 3.321928095 is equal to x plus 1. I can bring the 1 over, it becomes a minus, and I'd end up with x is equal to 2.3219288095, and I could check the question and see, do they want me to round it off, or should I leave it exactly as it is? We have a few log buttons in our calculators, so this is the one that I've been using, the very top one on the right here, because it allows me to put in any base I want, any number I want. We also have ln just below it, which is log in the base e, and here we just have the log button to the left of the ln, and that is automatically in the base 10.